Welcome back from the ad break with our topic problem solving and decision making. We will continue from where we left off. Now we are going to do the problem solving techniques. We just covered the problem solving steps. Now we're going to start with the problem solving techniques. Now I need to remind you, for the techniques, we've got the applications and the impacts. And for this lesson, we will focus on the Delphi technique and the force field. As you can see here, we've got 4 problem solving techniques: the Delphi technique, force field analysis, brainstorming, nominal group technique. However, for this lesson, we're only focusing on the Delphi technique and the force field analysis. Don't forget, for every technique, we've got the applications, we've got the impacts, which is your advantages and your disadvantages. Right, so we're starting off with the Delphi technique. So with the application now, application it means what? It means putting it to practice. How do we apply the Delphi technique? How do we put it into practice in our workplace? Right, so with the Delphi technique, the business must invite who? The panel of experts. So this is just not ordinary people, experts. These are the people that have got more knowledge about the problem that we're facing. So we're going to invite the panel of experts to research the complaints from customers. Right, keyword here is experts, a panel of experts. However, these experts do not have to be in one place. They don't have to be in one place, meaning reduction of what? Of conflict and noise. And they can be contacted individually. Then we're going to design a questionnaire. This is another keyword, which consists of questions on how to improve the quality of their products, our product as a business. And we're going to distribute these questionnaires to who? To the panel members of experts, the one that we've requested. And then we're going to request the panel to do what? To individually respond as individuals to the questionnaire. And what are they responding on? They're going to suggest the improvements to the product, and they have to return it to the business. Right? Don't forget that. Remember, we are putting it into action or to practice rather. Then summarize the responses from who? From the experts. Remember, we gave them the questionnaire. So when they bring back their responses, we need to summarize from the experts in a feedback report. Right? There's so many applications, but just to read other applications, send the feedback report and a second set of questions or questionnaire that is based on the feedback report to the panel members. Right? Remember the panel members, it's your experts. Request panel members to do what? To provide further input or ideas on how to improve the quality of products after they have studied the results or documentation. Then we're going to distribute a third questionnaire. Remember, we had the first round, the second set of questions. Now we're doing a third questionnaire based on the previous feedback from the second round, like I said. And there, prepare a final summary or feedback report with all the methods to improve the quality of the business's products. The business should then choose the best solution or proposal after reaching a consensus. Right, with a consensus, it's just an agreement. So we need to choose the best solution. Remember, these were experts that were helping us. So now, what are the benefits of doing that? Remember, I said we've got the applications. From applications, we now move to what? We move to the positives and the negatives. So what are the benefits of using a Delphi? Businesses may use a group of experts. What do you know about experts? They know better. Without bringing them together, they don't have to be in one place, remember. So which is a good thing. Right, the second advantage or positive of a Delphi technique is that the experts will give the business clear ideas or solutions. Why are they doing that? Remember, these are experts, meaning they've got better knowledge on how to improve on productivity or profitability and how to solve the complex business problems. Remember, they are more knowledgeable, they know better. Another advantage is that they may give honest or credible opinions, and they do not have a direct or personal interest in the business. So why can they not give us something honest or positive? So it's an advantage of Delphi technique. Right, now we're going to go to the negatives, and as much as we've got positives, we also have the negatives of a Delphi technique. Right, what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is that it is expensive. These are experts, remember, so we have to pay them. It is an expensive technique to use. Why? Due to its high administrative costs. It is costly. Not all experts are willing or interested to give feedback or complete the questionnaire. it's sad, I know, but yeah. Some experts might not have an in-depth knowledge of certain topics. That is a disadvantage. Expert suggestions may not be considered by some employees, so a consensus may not be reached. Remember, what is a consensus? An agreement may not be reached. Why? Because, like I said, some employees may not consider the experts' suggestions. It may be time-consuming or complicated to analyze data received from the experts. What is that? Raw information. So it may be a bit complicated to analyze that information. Right, I hope we are together, we understand. Like I said, with the Delphi technique, we've got what? The application, the positives, and the negatives of Delphi technique. Now we're going to go to the second one, which is the force field analysis. Right, the application, we're going to start with the application. In order for you to be able to speak about the impact, you need to be able to put it into action or to put it into practice. The application of force field analysis, right, here we're going to describe the current situation or the problem and the desired situation. What is it that we want to achieve here? Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to list all the driving or pros. You've heard me speaking about the pros, so we're talking about the good things, basically the advantages, and the restraining or the cons, which are, or the supporting and resisting change. So these are the driving forces and the restraining forces of change. Like I said here, I stated there to say driving forces are the advantages, whereas restraining forces are the disadvantages of the challenge. Right, so what you're going to do, you need to allocate a score to each force by using a numerical scale. 1 is weak and 5 is strong. So you're going to allocate a score. Remember, there's the pros and the cons. So the pros, you weigh them, the cons, you also weigh them. You weigh up the positives and the negatives and decide if the project is viable or not. Then you're going to choose the force with the highest score as the best solutions after weighing it from 1 to 5. That's what you need to do. Right, if the project is viable, you need to find ways to increase the forces for change. All right, so after agreeing whether the project is viable or not, then you need to identify priorities and you develop what? An action plan. Don't forget the tip here. Driving forces are the advantages of the challenge, and then the restraining forces are the disadvantages of a challenge. So like we've said, we looked at the advantages and the disadvantages, and then we've weighed them. Right, so what are the impact of the force field analysis? The positives of the force field analysis: the employees feel included and understood. Remember, you were working with them, you were asking them, so they feel included, they feel part of the team. And then employees will develop and grow with the business, which is good. They are happy. Enables businesses to strengthen the driving forces. Don't forget what are the driving forces, and weaken the restraining forces. Businesses are able to have an idea of the timeline required and the requirements for additional resources. And then we move on to the negatives of the force field analysis. Right, with the negatives, it requires the participation of all the business units. Remember, we said the positive, they all feel included and part of the team. So here it requires the participation of everybody. So if they don't want to, it becomes a problem because everybody has to be part of this exercise. Right, it is time consuming since the business must stabilize before more changes can be made. So it's time consuming, and remember, in business, time is money. The analysis developed is entirely dependent upon the skill level and the knowledge of the group working on the analysis. So if they lack the skill, if they don't have the knowledge, so it becomes a big problem because we might not get to the bottom of the problem, or we might not reach the desired solution, basically. All right, we've come to the end of our grade 12 lesson. Remember, the topic was problem solving and decision making. So from me, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.